better things. I have a bag of QANX. QANX is nice because it's bullish. So with QANX, it's quite interesting because I haven't looked at it in a while. I haven't looked at QANX in a long while. I did post some things. The last time I looked at QANX, what was the last time I looking at QANX? Here we go. There it is. 12 days ago. I think someone put a comment here. Did they? Or maybe not. I thought someone put a comment here. So they even fizzle kind of preview contemplating. This is now going to the moon. Yeah, you have to take profit. So I was looking at this kind of crab type harmonic. Quite interesting, yeah. So that was the last thing I was looking at, wasn't it? See that? Can you see that? This crab. So let me have a look at that. That was 12 days ago. Haven't looked at it since, actually. Literally, I've been sick. And I was away in Morocco as well. That was it. Or a variation of it. I initially posted that in Discord. I'll show you. A long time ago. It's my Discord. Everyone's free to join. Link is underneath. I don't always post. I chat a lot, but I don't always post charts, and they're not always right. Not financial advice. That was 30 days ago. Buy the dip trade plan. It's never easy. Yeah? It's never easy predicting the future. I actually had a better chart here. There it is. See that? I like it when things go according to plan, because then people go, wow, he knew. They follow you more. They like your videos more. So it kind of went a little bit further than I thought it would, but that's crypto, isn't it? Crypto does that. It pushes much further than you think, and then it pumps much more than you expect. So that's kind of where we are now, aren't we? So we have a really nice reaction from these lows. As I was saying to people, as the price was coming down, it was corrective. It was very different to the example that I gave of TRVL. TRVL was a sell-off. This is not a sell-off. This is a corrective price action. People buying and selling, selling and buying, and had a really nice. That was the capitulation wick, wasn't it? That was the capitulation. You've come in to test the wick, come into the point of control, and you're getting some real nice buying. I guess some of that's got something to do with fundamentals of quantum computing, I guess. So let me just kind of update my charts a little bit now. Let me just clean everything. And if everyone has, I'm sure everyone has been following the press. If you haven't, then you should, because it's quite interesting. I saved it in my bookmarks somewhere. Excuse me. 1 million qubits can potentially crack a Bitcoin address. Microsoft says its new chip creates a path to get there. How long does Bitcoin have to become quantum resistant, and what's actually at risk? We break it down in this. Anyway, it's a bit of a thread. I'm not going to go into it because it's all technical. That that's the big news, isn't it? So Microsoft made an announcement this week. The Majora 1. Majora. What was their announcement? A lot of people are covering it, aren't they? Where's the CEO? Oh, he's not in the top list though, is he? This is quite interesting. So look, on Wednesday, a new kind of quantum chip that it says will make quantum computers useful in years rather than decades. Okay, I think that's the clue. Useful in years rather than decades. When he says years, he probably means less than years. Like, I don't. This is the thing. Technology is growing exponentially. It's not growing. It's not a straight line. It's like a parabolic curve. Technology, and these companies are pouring mega billions into this kind of research, into this quantum research. Yeah, and it's not just one company. It's not just Microsoft. You've got big competing companies, Nvidia, Apple, Google, whatever, all these other big companies, probably Asian companies, probably China, probably Europe. It's big government funded institutions pouring a shit ton of money into quantum research. I don't think it's going to be decades. And Microsoft said it's not going to be decades. They said useful in years. So that makes me really bullish. Doesn't it? It makes you bullish, doesn't it? If you're not bullish on quantum layer ones, quantum proof layer ones, then you should be. And so no one really knows the future, right? No one can predict the future, but what happens is that first and foremost, any newcomers to blockchain tech, to crypto, will be doing their research, will be looking at all the different chains, all the different layer ones, and then they're going to be making the decisions based on the future. And then, you know, like QANX is EVM compatible, so that's all that really matters when it comes to your layer one, that it's EVM compatible. And they'll be making their choices. They'll be making their choices of which blockchains to use. And so why wouldn't they? Why would they choose Solana when they can choose this, when they can choose QANX, Quant platform? They don't care really, do they? So I think it's going to be very attractive for newcomers to crypto. So there's going to be a lot of newcomers to crypto in the future. And then also down the line, if and when you start getting these chips be released in the public domain, and there's going to be a real danger that these kind of legacy blockchains like Solana or Ethereum or whatever can be hacked, you know, and with these chips. And so then actually there's going to be a big transference of value to these quantum proof chains, isn't there? So there's a lot of room for growth here. I think there's a lot of room for increasing value. And then what you'll suddenly get, like, big institutions start pouring shit tons of money into this. They'll come big. Yeah. So right now we're just kind of range bound, aren't we? We're kind of just kind of going sideways. That's what I see in the charts right now. Like, I don't think we're moving parabolically or anything. We're just kind of consolidating. This is like a long, this is accumulation, isn't it? This is accumulation. This is a higher time frame accumulation. Yeah, that was the bridge hack. It's got nothing to do with Quant platform. You can ignore that. I'm not ignoring it because I think that was the first wave, as I've said in the past, because I redid my Elliot wave analysis. That was the first impulse. But since then we've kind of just been range bound. We've kind of been putting slightly higher lows here. It's accumulation. It's only on gate, so it hasn't even been kind of adopted by any tier ones or any of the other exchanges yet, and mainly probably because the mainnet hasn't been launched yet, so it's still a product in development. Once that gets launched, and once you start getting a little bit of an uptake, you're going to get interest from the bigger exchanges, the volume increases, and things can go really wild. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're hoping for. No one can predict the future, but that's kind of what we're hoping for. Everyone that I've kind of met when it comes to this project is ultra bullish, yeah. Oh, not only are they ultra bullish, they're ultra positive too. They're not looking to sell, they're looking to buy. Yeah, so you kind of get these kind of crazy moments where the market sells, but actually what's happening is people are selling to buy back. It's greed, isn't it? It's let's sell some QANX so I can buy more, so I end up with more QANX. That's really what's happening here, isn't it? And that's all I'm seeing in the price action. We're not seeing that kind of crazy volume that indicates now we're moving, now we're going to higher prices now. But I do see a lot of potential here. No one can predict the future. No one knows. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I hope the team, the Quan platform team, pull it, stay true to what they've been proposing and their timelines. I have no idea. I'm not in contact with them. I'm just like anyone else. But the charts look quite healthy to me. We've come back to the point of control. We found support. You see that? That's bullish. That's really all you need to know, huh? That's really all that I need to say, yeah. Look, that's bullish. We found support in the point of control. That's what you want to see. You want to see the point of control offering support. That's your first kind of, oh wow, this is actually really nice. The price is finding support on a very important volume level. It's the most volume at this price, and we found support, right? The next thing that I want to see, and we haven't been able to do it just yet, is for us to flip the value area high of this range into support. That's the value area high there, that top blue line. What we do need to see is we need to see that flip into support. We need to find support there. So I don't know how it's going to happen. Generally, when it happens, you kind of go up and then you get the kind of take profit until you kind of come back to find support. And that's where people buy back in. And if that happens, then you've effectively, what you've done is you've flipped the whole of the value area. The whole thing becomes a support level, a support block. That's when you can actually start moving quite fast to the upside. Yeah, so we're not going to really get that kind of upward parabolic type move until we get that kind of price action where we can flip the value area high into support. So until then, it's just an opportunity to accumulate, accumulate, and it's a really nice accumulation range, isn't it? We're putting in higher lows. I have suggested in the past, I don't know, like the thing about Bitcoin is I have no idea. Bitcoin can do crazy things. I have suggested in the past it is possible that we are in some kind of weird corrective path. No, not that one. Go to the daily. It's all speculative, yeah. I'm not 100% about anything. So entertainment value only. Oh, I don't know where I did it. Oh, that's quite interesting. Oh, those are my channels. So I probably should have a look for all of this stuff. I kind of updated my count a little bit because we had this nice impulsive move here for this corrective. I am wondering if this is the correction. There's a correction like this of sorts, and this is just like an A, B, C type thing. I'm not 100%. We have to see what happens as the price comes up here to the value area high, because I do wonder, I don't know, like, and this is what I'm saying, I have no idea. I don't know what March is going to bring for us. So you can clearly see there's some kind of trend line that has to be broken, right? You see that? That's a very clear to see trend line that we have to break, we have to flip, and then we have to push from. That's how we're going to get higher. I think once we do break that trend line, however that happens, whether it happens soon or later, that has to happen. So if we do end up going up now, I don't know how, let's just say we go up there and just put in a lower high there. Just to put a higher high down here, a high low. That could, I mean, you could be looking at some kind of WXY type correctiveness here for the next impulse, the big impulse that we want to see, the kind of the big wave 3 or the wave 3 of 3, assuming that that wave doesn't get invalidated by taking out that low. Yeah, because obviously when you get these kind of pullbacks, there's always a danger that you come lower than expected and take out that low, and that then this whole thing is just one big correction, and that impulsive move was part of the correction, and you're still stuck in a correction after this first impulse, which was the one-to-one restoration of the funds after the bridge hack. So there are kind of like different things I'm looking at. The other thing is that we could just quite easily, so let me just go back here. And again, as I said, no one really knows what's going to happen. Could that be your wave 1? Was this your wave 2? And are we now going to have like a mega wave 3 here and just break through like that? It's possible. So that became your actual correction and was still there, and this was just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I'm not saying it's gonna, I don't know how this is going to play out. So as you can tell, Bitcoin has a large part to play in what's happening and ETH and all the craziness that's happening in crypto. So I do think that it's, before we see all season, we probably do need to go down to about 80. I was initially thinking 70, 73K. I'm now, the longer this Bitcoin holds higher prices, the more I think, the less chance I think we're going to go down to those crazy low prices. So possibly down to 84 in some kind of Bitcoin capitulation in the future, maybe April. And so until that happens, I think what we're experiencing is accumulation. The volume gives me that insight. So it feels quite impulsive, like people are like, oh my God, it's going up, I need to buy. Good, buy. And so you get this kind of impulsive kind of market buying, which is healthy because that's how we put in higher lows, because then people sell. And then as the price pulls back, they start buying, and you're going to get this kind of really healthy accumulation. But whatever happens, we do have to flip. If you can just ignore the Elliot waves and just focus on the volume and this trend line, whatever happens, we do have to flip this value area high and this outer trend line into support somehow. Yeah, that's going to require strength. It's going to require volume. It's going to require strength. It means that there's more buying that's going to push past the selling, and you can get volume and strength, and then you'll get the pullback, and then you just want to find support. You find support there, and guess what happens next? Ping. we expand, and then we're in price discovery. We're off to higher prices. And once that starts to happen, hopefully we can get a lot of people will start buying into this. More people from it's going to attract more people from outside of the QANX community. But I mean, the volume right now has been relatively steady, and so what you really want to see is big, large injections of volume. I don't know if it's going to happen just on Gate.io, to be honest with you. It could. Gate.io is not a small exchange, but you know, we kind of need this to get onto Bybit, to Binance, etc., all these other big exchanges. So that's kind of what I'd like to see for an explosive move to the upside, if that's going to happen. If not, then we're still kind of in a corrective move here. This whole thing's a correction, then it could correct, you know. I don't know if it's July, but I've got some other tokens bottoming out in the second, third week of April. So I wouldn't, like, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me if we just kind of range here until maybe we go up, try to go up and come back down to find support again, to then just smash them or something like that, you know. Like, that's also, that would be like, I think now if we can just hold the point of control and people can see that the point of control is being held and that we're not putting lower prices, we're putting higher lows, that's going to give people more confidence to just buy higher and not wait for lower. So they're not going to wait for lower, because people can now people are looking at this and they're going, oh shit, we're putting in higher lows. And so the next time the price comes down to the lows, yeah, you're not going to be looking, you're going to be thinking to yourself, I'm going to wait for lower, I'm going to be waiting for slightly higher. You can come in slightly higher. Yeah, so next time if the price does go up and find resistance and it starts to come down, then you're thinking to yourself, where's a good place to buy? I'll be slightly higher than the lows, slightly higher. That's when you're going to start get some aggressive buying again, hopefully. And so I think that's kind of a very simple QANX update. For an impulsive move, it's always from the lows, and just looking at the previous impulsive moves, apart from this first crazy one, it generally kind of goes sideways for a bit at the lows before it starts to go up. See, this is green. So here we're getting a bunch of red. So I'm not really thinking this is impulsive. I'm thinking this is still, it's like an upward corrective. See, you've got red candles there, red. So you're getting like buying and selling. Whereas here, you see this is like green. It's just buying. And similar to